Hello friends, welcome to G-Centric. So from today onwards we are going to study the network theorems, that is our new unit. Okay, so here are some of the 8 listed network theorems. Okay, so basically we have completed all the techniques of basic solving techniques, advanced solving techniques in the network analysis. Now whatever is left is with the theorem. Okay, so these theorems basically they are very little helpful. Okay, so 90% of the network theory problems are solved without the help of theorems, but the remaining 10% is solved using these theorems. Okay, so in GATE questions, okay, in GATE examination, these are very much important and the questions from this part will only be asked. So these theorems are applicable for both AC and DC analysis, okay, and as well as only for the linear circuits. Okay, so whatever type of AC or DC, it should be a linear circuit. Then only you can apply all these theorems. So first one is superposition, Thevenin, Norton's theorem and maximum power transfer theorem. Okay, so these four theorems are very much important. Okay, so these are the main things where GATE examination questions will come maximum from these 4 theorems. So this reciprocity theorem is also important, but not that much compared to, it will help in solving some problems. Okay, and these remaining three are not so important, but we will learn them also. Okay, so Millman's theorem, Telighen's theorem and compensating theorem. Okay, so we will start with one by one. We will first go with the superposition theorem. Okay, so the superposition theorem, it has got before going into that superposition, first we will learn what do we mean by linearity property. Okay, so now in this there are 2 types which is based on the superposition. Okay, superposition is based on these 2 concepts of linearity property. So before that we will see what is the definition of the linearity property. Okay, so it is nothing but the relation between, okay, so it is the relation between cause and effect. Okay, so it is the difference between cause and effect. So this is about the linearity property. So whatever there will be, if there is some effect in that or if there is some cause in a circuit, then definitely it will have effect because of this cause. Okay, so that is the linearity property. Based on this, we have classified this into homogeneity property. Okay, homogeneity, and second one is, so this homogeneity we will call it as scaling also. Okay, we will see why it is called scaling. So homogeneity, and second one is additivity property. So these 2 things, if the circuit satisfies, then we will call it as linear. If it is linear, then we can apply superposition theorem, right? So now if I take a circuit, okay, let me take a circuit which has input, okay, and output. Now if the input is in terms of current, and we will take it as a resistive network, and we want the output as V. Okay, so we have to get V is equal to I into R, right? So now in this case, now if I multiply this I with some factor K, okay, this is called as scaling factor. That is why we have another name it as scaling. Okay, we are multiplying by some factor with K. So when input is multiplied with scaling factor K, then same thing should also be multiplied for output also, okay, by the same factor. So what it will become, K into V is equal to, substitute K into I into R, right? This is about the homogeneity. Now coming to the additivity, if you take a circuit, okay, having input and output, okay, so we will give one input. This is also resistive network. We will give first input for the circuit as I1, and we will calculate the V1, that is nothing but I1 into R, right? We will take the same circuit R and give the input and output, okay? So here the input I will give it as I2, so I will get the output as V2, right? So now that what does that additivity property says is that I1 plus I2 will be equal to these two things, okay? So in the output also we have to get V, total V, okay, because same circuit we are applying two inputs, right? It should be I1 into R plus I2 into R, right? Or you can take it as I1 plus I2 into R, because series or something like that, you can take it as resistive network, okay? So this is R and R, because of the same circuit we have got I1R and I2 R, okay? So now after you multiply like this, I1 plus I2 times R, you will get this one, right? So this is nothing but I1R is V1 plus I2R is V2. So net voltage will be V1 plus V2. So here input will be I1 plus I2. Okay, for this input we are getting total net voltage as V1 plus V2. So that we will call it as additivity property. Okay, so now after learning this, we will come to our first theorem, that is superposition theorem. Okay, so we will study from this, we will see the definition, and we will see for which type of problems it is applicable, and for which calculation or the response we cannot apply the superposition theorem. Okay, so we will see now the definition of this. Okay, so coming to the superposition theorem. So what does it say? It states that voltage across or current through an element in a linear circuit is algebraic sum of voltage across or current through that element due to each independent source acting alone. Okay, so now what is the meaning of this sentence? It means that in a circuit, if there are more than one independent source, like if you consider 2-3 independent sources in a circuit, okay, so it says that you have to choose one source, one independent source, okay, and make the rest two of the independent sources inactive. So keep one independent source active and rest keeping two independent source inactive. Then you have to calculate the each across that element voltage and current every time choosing one independent source. Okay, so after completing all the three independent source, making active one by one, okay, then you have to add those voltage or current through the element. Okay, so now we will understand this more clearly when we solve the problem. Okay, so now if consider that then there is this voltage and here is a current. Okay, so in both the circuit we have got, suppose this is voltage and something like this, we have got two sources, two independent sources. Keep in mind it is independent sources, not dependent. Okay, so we have here one voltage and one current source, right? So now this says that, this sentence superposition theorem states that if you are keeping two independent voltage sources, two independent sources are there, okay, so now if you keep voltage sources active, you have to make current as inactive, current source as active. Okay, keeping that you have to solve the problem calculating here, suppose if they have asked current through this element, calculate I1. Okay, next make this voltage source inactive and keep this current source active, then calculate I2. Okay, so sum of this together, I1 plus I2 will give you net current. Okay, so this is nothing but we have used additivity, right? So we have to add both together. How you will make a voltage source or current source inactive? If you are calculating for the current source, okay, making voltage inactive, then you have to short this circuit. Okay, this element will be shorted, voltage. Okay, this will be active. Next, if you are considering voltage source and you have to make current source as inactive, so what you have to make? Open circuit. Okay, this will be open. Then you have to calculate I2. Okay, so then you have to together add this value to get the net current in case of this circuit. Okay, so if it is voltage source, you have to short circuit it. Then if you have got independent current source, you have to open circuit it. If you get dependent source any type which is in the diamond shape, then do not do anything. Do not do anything. Do not disturb this circuit. Okay, keep as it is, and its hint will be given in the circuit itself. Okay, so there was one more concept left in the power. Okay, that is in linearity concept we had left this power concept. It is not applicable for linearity property because power is non-linear. Why it is non-linear? So if you see V is equal to IR, you have got individual powers, right? You do not have square terms or quadratic something, so it is linear. Now here in terms of power, if you take I square R or V square by R, it will be quadratic, right? So it is non-linear, hence you cannot apply the superposition theorem. But only there are few problems that can be applicable using superposition theorem to solve the power. Okay, so because net power you cannot add directly P1 plus P2, okay, for the individual element. That is why it is not applicable for superposition theorem. But there are few exceptions that we will take problems in the upcoming sections. Okay, so we will see how power can be or superposition theorem can be applied for the power. Okay, so in the next lecture we will start solving the problem based on the superposition theorem, where this sentence will become more clearer. Okay, thank you.